Gehenna is a term that is rich in its background. Gehenna refers to the valley of Hinnom. This valley, listen to me, went alongside the south side of Jerusalem. In this place, they would take animals and filth and that which was unclean, and they would take the garbage of the city and put it in this valley where there was a fire that burned constantly. Now, this valley is the backdrop to Gehenna. Now, Gehenna, the valley of Hinnom that paints the picture of the background of Gehenna. This valley of Hinnom that Jerusalem used as a place of waste is also mentioned in the Old Testament. Now, in the Old Testament, it was called the Valley of Slaughter, the Valley of Tophet, or the place where the god Molech was worshipped. Now, Molech was an idol god that the Jews would worship, and they would take their children and they would offer their children to Molech and throw their babies in this valley where fire was burning. So they would burn their children and sacrifice them to Molech. And in that valley, it became known as the place of slaughter. Now, it was also called not only the place of slaughter, but the valley of Tophet. Tophet means the beating of a drum. When they would take their children and throw them in the fire to drown out the weeping and the wailing and the gnashing of teeth, they would beat on drums to drown out the sound of the babies crying, of the babies wailing, of the babies gnashing their teeth, because they were being thrown in a fire sacrificed to Molech. And to drown out the sound, they would beat on the drums and try to drown out the noise of the weeping and the gnashing of teeth. And there's a lot of folk today, to drown out the sounds of the truth of hell, are beating on drums of false interpretation. But I've come today to tell you, it doesn't matter how much you beat your drum, it will not change the fact that hell is a real place of eternal torment. There will be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Now, when the text says, it was the valley of Tophet, it was the place of slaughter. It was the place where a fire kept burning. So it became known as an unquenchable fire. Are y'all following this? So then, our text says, by Jesus, there is a furnace of fire. In that place, there's wailing and gnashing of teeth. Now, when you get to the wailing and the gnashing of teeth, it indicates consciousness. That means when you get to the place called hellfire, in that place, you are fully aware of your state, and you are fully able to feel the torment that you are experiencing. Weeping here is a loud cry of anguish. Gnashing of teeth is when I grind my teeth in pain. Jesus said this is what folk look like in the place called hell. Are y'all following me? So that's Gehenna. That's hellfire. That's the final place where God will place the wicked for an eternal torment. Preacher, how do I get there? Y'all ready? All right, let's go there. Let me show you how you get there. Before you can fully understand how a person gets to this place, you have to review lesson number 2 that I already did, which is that man is a trichotomy. Man is body, man is soul, and man is a spirit. According to 1 Thessalonians 5:23, present your whole body, soul, and spirit. God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Man is trichotomy. Now, when I die, when I'm really dead, is when my spirit departs from my body. Let's look at James 2:26. James 2:26. And let's just see, because I want you to understand when you're dead. When is a person completely dead? How does the Bible describe physical death? All right? Because what I'm trying to show you is that hell is a real place, hellfire is a real place, and you can end up going there, even though it was never prepared for you. I'll get to that in just a little while. Jesus said it was prepared for the devil and his angels. Yes, that's who it's prepared for. Yes, sir. But some of us want to go.
Talk, sir.
And so God said, I may not have prepared it for you, but if you so desire, if you want to be as wicked as the angels and Satan, then you can abode where they are. Are you following that? All right, now, and I'll show you just a minute. Hellfire is the last stage. We'll get to that in just a minute. Now, James 2:26, what does that say?
For as the body
without the spirit
is
dead.
So faith without works is dead.
That's what I want. The body without the spirit is dead. Look at Ecclesiastes 8 verse 8. Ecclesiastes 8 verse 8. Now, the body without the spirit is dead. The spirit is that part of me that animates life. Mm-hmm. It's my life source. God gives everyone a spirit by which you exist and you are able to live. I have a spirit that animates life. And when that spirit leaves my body, yes, I am then dead.
Come on, preacher.
Now, doctors don't always know when a person's dead.
Yes, sir.
All right. But God said, when the spirit leaves the body, that person is dead. Yes. Now, in Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and verse number 8, what does that say?
There is no man
that
have power over the spirit.
Now, you need to get this clear. No man has power over the spirit.
To retain the spirit. Neither hath he power in the day of death.
Now, you ain't got no control over the day of death.
Yes, sir.
And when that day comes, you cannot retain your spirit because you want to stay alive.
All right.
Let me run that by you one more time. Now, I think we need to understand this.
Come on, preacher.
I said, when the day of death shows up, there is nothing you can do to retain your spirit.
All right.
When that spirit leaves, you are dead.
All right.
And God said, just to be sure you don't get confused and think that you can control that life source, I've come today to tell you, no man can retain the spirit, yes, in the day of death.
Yes, sir.
That means at some point you will meet death and you will have no control over it.
Come on, preacher.
Are y'all following this?
Yes, sir.
And everybody needs to get that in their spirit. You got to get that in your mind. That there is coming a time of which I will have no control.
All right.
And you got to prepare for that day. Because God gives you a spirit. And while God gave you that spirit, he expects you to use that life source to live a godly life unto him. Because at some point, he's taking it back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Are y'all following that?
Yes, sir.
When that spirit leaves my body, the question is, where does it go?
All right.
Get me chapter 12. Same book. Chapter 12, verse number 7. Where does it go? Where does it? Now, I didn't say nothing about the soul yet. I'm talking about the spirit. Why are you doing this, preacher? Because before I tell you how a person ends up in hell, you got to understand the process by which you get there. I want you to know exactly what happens when you die. So you ain't caught off guard.